A. AWOL. Absent without official leave. It refers to a soldier's unauthorized temporarily absence from duty, which can lead to disciplinary action. In contrast, a deserter has abandoned duty without intention of returning and faces more severe consequences, including potential charges of treason. B. Barbed wire. It referred to a type of fencing made of strong wire with sharp edges or points. It was used extensively for military purposes to create barriers, fortifications, and obstacles. Barbed wire helped to deter enemy movement, secure perimeters around military installations, and protect trenches. Its presence was a common sight on battlefields, serving both defensive and tactical roles. C. Concentration camp. It referred to facilities where large numbers of people, particularly Jews, political dissidents, and other targeted groups, were detained under harsh conditions. These camps were used for imprisonment, forced labor, and extermination. The most notorious concentration camps, such as Auschwitz, became sites of mass murder as part of the Holocaust. Concentration camps represented a brutal aspect of the war, reflecting the extreme persecution and atrocities committed during this period. D. Dachau. Dachau was one of the first concentration camps established by Nazi Germany in 1933, located near Munich. Initially intended for political prisoners, it later expanded to include Jews, Roma, homosexuals, and other groups deemed undesirable. Dachau became a model for other camps and was known for its brutal conditions, forced labor, and medical experiments. It was liberated by Allied forces in 1945, revealing the horrific realities of the Holocaust and the extent of Nazi atrocities. E. Enigma. Enigma referred to a cipher machine used by the German military to encrypt communications. The Enigma machine employed a complex system of rotating disks to create coded messages that were difficult to decipher. Allied cryptanalysts, most notably at Bletchley Park in the UK, successfully broke the Enigma code, which provided crucial intelligence and contributed to the Allied victory. The ability to intercept and decode German communications had a significant impact on military operations throughout the war. F. Free French Forces. It was military units established by Charles de Gaulle during World War II to continue fighting against Nazi Germany after the fall of France in 1940. They represented the French government in exile and aimed to rally support for the Allied cause. The Free French Forces participated in various campaigns, including the liberation of France, and played a crucial role in maintaining French resistance and unity during the war. They symbolized the determination of many French citizens to oppose occupation and fight for their country's liberation. G. Ghetto. It refers to areas designated by Nazi authorities to confine and isolate Jewish populations from the rest of society, serving as a tool for oppression and control. Conditions within these ghettos were often horrific, marked by severe overcrowding, inadequate housing, and a lack of basic resources such as food and sanitation, leading to widespread suffering and disease. Notable examples include the Warsaw Ghetto, where residents staged a significant uprising in 1943, and the Lodz Ghetto, among others. Ultimately, these ghettos played a crucial role in the lead-up to the Holocaust, as many inhabitants were deported to concentration camps, highlighting the tragic realities faced by millions during this dark chapter in history. H. Home front. It refers to the civilian sector of the nation that supported the war effort while the military was engaged in combat, encompassing various aspects such as civilian involvement, economic changes, and social dynamics. Citizens contributed through production, rationing, and volunteering, while factories shifted from consumer goods to military production, creating jobs and boosting the economy. Additionally, governments utilized propaganda to encourage public support and maintain morale, leading to significant social changes, including increased roles for women in the workforce. Overall, the home front played a crucial role in sustaining military operations and supporting the war effort. I. Intelligence. It referred to the collection, analysis, and dissemination of information regarding enemy forces, plans, and capabilities, which was crucial for military strategy and operations. This included signals intelligence, intercepting communications, human intelligence, espionage, and reconnaissance to gather information about enemy movements and strategies. Agencies like the British Special Operations Executive and the American Office of Strategic Services played key roles in covert operations and intelligence gathering. Effective intelligence not only informed military decisions but also contributed to significant victories, such as the D-Day invasion and the successful deciphering of coded messages, underscoring its vital importance in the overall war effort. J. June 6th. June 6th in World War II refers to D-Day, the Allied invasion of Normandy in 1944, which marked a pivotal turning point in the war against Nazi Germany. On this day, thousands of troops from the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and other Allied nations stormed the beaches of Normandy in a massive amphibious assault, aiming to establish a foothold in occupied France. The operation involved meticulous planning, including deception strategies to mislead German forces about the invasion's location. D-Day ultimately led to the liberation of Western Europe from Nazi control, significantly contributing to the eventual defeat of Germany. K. Kamikaze. It refers to a Japanese military tactic used during World War II, particularly in the Pacific Theater, where pilots conducted suicide attacks by crashing their aircraft, often loaded with explosives, into enemy ships. The term, which means divine wind, originated from typhoons that historically thwarted invasions of Japan. Kamikaze missions were seen as a desperate measure to turn the tide of battle, especially as Japan faced increasing losses. These attacks aimed to inflict maximum damage on Allied naval forces and became a symbol of Japan's resolve and willingness to sacrifice in defense of the nation. Landmine. It refers to an explosive device designed to be placed on or just below the ground, intended to detonate when triggered by pressure or a tripwire, causing destruction to vehicles and personnel. Used extensively by both Axis and Allied forces, landmines were employed to secure areas, impede enemy movement, and protect front lines. Their use created hazardous environments that continued to pose threats long after the war ended, as many mines remained buried and unexploded, leading to civilian casualties in post-war regions. M. Mortar. It refers to a portable, short-barreled artillery piece designed to fire explosive shells at high angles. Mortars were used by infantry units to provide indirect fire support against enemy positions, fortifications, and troops, allowing for greater accuracy in hitting targets that were not in direct line of sight. They varied in caliber and could be man-portable or vehicle-mounted, enabling flexibility on the battlefield. Mortars played a crucial role in combined arms operations, offering a means to deliver explosive firepower while keeping the crew relatively protected from counterfire. N. Nuremberg Trials. The Nuremberg Trials were a series of military tribunals held after World War II to prosecute prominent leaders of Nazi Germany for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. Conducted in Nuremberg, Germany, from 1945 to 1946, the trials aimed to bring justice for the atrocities committed during the Holocaust and the war. Key figures, including military leaders and government officials, were held accountable for their actions, establishing precedents in international law regarding individual responsibility for war crimes. The trials also highlighted the importance of justice and accountability in the aftermath of conflict, influencing future war crime tribunals around the world. O. Operations. It refers to coordinated military actions undertaken by armed forces to achieve specific objectives within a theater of war. These operations encompassed a wide range of activities, including large-scale offensives, strategic bombings, amphibious assaults, and intelligence missions. Each operation was meticulously planned and executed, often involving multiple branches of the military, and aimed at gaining territory, disrupting enemy supply lines, or weakening enemy forces. Notable examples include Operation Overlord, the D-Day invasion, and Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union, which were pivotal in shaping the course of the war. POW. Prisoner of war. It refers to military personnel who are captured and held by an enemy during armed conflict. In World War II, POWs faced various conditions depending on their captors, ranging from relatively humane treatment to severe mistreatment and harsh living conditions. The Geneva Convention provided guidelines for the treatment of POWs, but these were often violated. Many POWs endured forced labor, inadequate food, and brutal treatment, while others were subjected to psychological and physical abuse. The status and treatment of POWs became a significant issue during the war and highlighted the broader humanitarian concerns of armed conflict. Q. Quebec Conference. The Quebec Conference, held in August 1943, was a key meeting between Allied leaders, including U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt and British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, to discuss military strategy and post-war planning during World War II. Taking place in Quebec City, Canada, the conference aimed to coordinate efforts on the next phases of the war, particularly the invasion of Europe and the Pacific campaigns. It also addressed issues related to the development of the atomic bomb and the post-war order, laying the groundwork for future cooperation among the Allies. The discussions at the Quebec Conference significantly influenced Allied strategies and shaped the course of the war. R. Remembrance. It refers to the collective act of honoring and commemorating the sacrifices made by soldiers and civilians during the conflict. This includes remembering those who lost their lives, the suffering endured by populations, and the impact of the war on nations and communities. Various observances, such as Remembrance Day and Memorial Day, are held to pay tribute to veterans and victims, ensuring that the lessons of the war are not forgotten. Remembrance serves as a vital means of fostering peace, reconciliation, and understanding of the historical significance of World War II, encouraging future generations to reflect on the consequences of conflict. S. Surrender. It refers to the formal act of capitulation by military forces or governments, resulting in the cessation of hostilities and the acknowledgement of defeat. This process often involved the signing of documents that outlined the terms of surrender, which could include disarmament, occupation, and reparations. Notable examples include the unconditional surrender of Nazi Germany in May 1945, which marked the end of the war in Europe, and Japan's surrender in September 1945 following the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, leading to the conclusion of the conflict in the Pacific. Surrender not only signified military defeat but also had profound political and social implications for the nations involved. T. Third Reich. It refers to the period of Nazi Germany from 1933 to 1945, when Adolf Hitler and the National Socialist German Workers' Party, NSDAP, established a totalitarian regime characterized by an aggressive expansionist policy, extreme nationalism, and the promotion of Aryan supremacy. The term Third Reich implies a vision of a German Empire succeeding the Holy Roman Empire, the First Reich, and the German Empire, the Second Reich. Under Hitler's rule, the regime implemented widespread repression, leading to the persecution of Jews, political dissidents, and various minority groups, culminating in the Holocaust. The Third Reich ultimately fell with Germany's defeat in World War II, leaving a legacy of destruction and moral reckoning. U-boat. It refers to the German submarines used during World War II, derived from the German term Unterseeboot, meaning undersea boat. These vessels were primarily employed by the Kriegsmarine, German Navy, to disrupt Allied shipping in the Atlantic Ocean through tactics such as unrestricted submarine warfare. U-boats targeted merchant ships, aiming to weaken the Allies' supply lines and maintain Germany's wartime economy. They played a significant role in naval warfare, leading to notable battles and contributing to the strategic challenges faced by the Allies during the war. V. Veterans. It refers to individuals who served in the armed forces during the conflict, which lasted from 1939 to 1945. This term encompasses soldiers, sailors, airmen, and marines from various countries who participated in combat, support roles, or other military operations. After the war, these veterans returned to civilian life, often facing challenges related to physical and mental health, reintegration into society, and the impact of their wartime experiences. They are honored for their sacrifices and contributions, and many organizations support their needs and commemorate their service. W. War bonds. It refers to debt securities issued by governments during World War II to finance military operations and support the war effort. Citizens were encouraged to purchase these bonds as a means of investing in their country's defense, with the promise of repayment plus interest after a specified period. In the United States, for example, war bond campaigns were heavily promoted through patriotic appeals, advertising, and celebrity endorsements. The sale of war bonds helped raise substantial funds while fostering a sense of national unity and participation in the war effort among the public. XX Committee. It, also known as the 20 Committee, refers to the British intelligence group during World War II, primarily tasked with overseeing and coordinating deception operations, particularly those aimed at misleading the enemy about Allied military plans. Formed in 1941, the committee played a crucial role in the broader strategy of misinformation, which included the famous Operation Fortitude, designed to mislead the Germans about the timing and location of the D-Day invasion. By effectively managing and orchestrating various deception tactics, the XX Committee significantly contributed to the success of Allied operations throughout the war. Y. Yanks. It refers to American soldiers during World War II, originating from the nickname Yankee. The term became widely adopted by both military personnel and civilians to denote U.S. troops as they fought in various theaters of the war. Yanks were recognized for their distinct uniforms, camaraderie, and contributions to the Allied efforts, particularly in pivotal campaigns in Europe and the Pacific. The term also symbolized American culture and presence during the war, as U.S. forces were often seen as a key factor in achieving victory against Axis powers. Z. Zyklon B. It refers to a pesticide that became infamously associated with the Holocaust during World War II, as it was used by the Nazis in gas chambers for mass extermination in concentration camps. Originally developed for fumigation and pest control, Zyklon B contained hydrogen cyanide, a highly toxic substance. Its deployment in extermination camps like Auschwitz facilitated the systematic murder of millions of people, primarily Jews, as part of the Nazis' genocidal policies. The use of Zyklon B exemplifies the horrific methods employed during the Holocaust